In November 2022, the peaceful city of Chattanooga, Tennessee was shaken to its core by the murder of 22-year-old Jasmine Pace. What began as a love story turned into a nightmare, leaving a family devastated and a community desperate for answers. Jasmine Pace was a lively and ambitious young woman. Born and raised in Chattanooga, she was pursuing her studies in nursing at the local university. Known for her magnetic smile and adventurous spirit, Jasmine was the kind of person who could light up any room. Her family described her as a loving daughter and a doting sister who always made time for those she cared about. Friends called her fiercely independent but deeply empathetic, someone who always lent a listening ear. In early November 2022, Jasmine met Jason Chen, a 22-year-old local who came across as charming and attentive. They quickly grew close, with Jasmine sharing with friends that she felt a strong connection with him. But not everyone shared her enthusiasm. Some of Jasmine's close friends noticed red flags early on. Jason seemed overly possessive, questioning her whereabouts and pushing her to spend more time with him than with others. Still, Jasmine brushed off their concerns, convinced that Jason's behavior came from a place of care rather than control. On the evening of November 22nd, Jasmine told her mother she was going to spend the night with friends. She hugged her goodbye, promising to check in later. Later that night, Jasmine's phone activity suddenly stopped. Unbeknownst to her family, she had gone to Jason Chen's apartment. Surveillance footage captured Jasmine entering the complex at 11:42 p.m. with Jason, appearing calm and relaxed. When Jasmine didn't return home the next day, her mother's initial worry turned into deep concern. Jasmine was known for staying in touch. Whether it was a quick text or a call to check in, she rarely left her loved ones in the dark. Her sudden silence felt out of character and deeply unsettling. Her mother began texting Jasmine's phone repeatedly, each unanswered message fueling her growing anxiety. Calls went straight to voicemail. "Jasmine, please call me," one of her messages read. But the notification she hoped for never came. By the afternoon of November 23rd, Jasmine's mother began reaching out to her friends. She described her daughter's last known plans, hoping someone might have details that could explain her absence. A few of Jasmine's friends recalled vague mentions of her spending time with Jason Chen, the man she had been dating. One of them noted that Jasmine had seemed excited about the relationship, but admitted that they didn't know much about Jason. He had kept to himself, never making an effort to integrate into Jasmine's social circle. Another friend mentioned receiving a strange Snapchat message from Jasmine late on the night of November 22nd. In it, Jasmine had alluded to being with Jason, though the tone of her message had felt off, cryptic and slightly detached. This was unlike Jasmine, who was typically warm and expressive. With no concrete leads, Jasmine's mother grew desperate. She contacted the Chattanooga Police Department to file a missing persons report. "It's not like her to vanish," she told the officers. "Something is wrong. I can feel it." As the hours ticked by, Jasmine's family decided to take action. They printed dozens of flyers bearing her photo, a bright, smiling image that now seemed painfully distant, and began distributing them across Chattanooga. Friends and neighbors joined the effort, posting the flyers in parks, local businesses, and on street corners. Simultaneously, her family turned to social media. Jasmine's mother posted an emotional plea: "Our daughter is missing. If anyone has seen Jasmine or has any information about her whereabouts, please contact us or the police. We just want her home safe." The post quickly gained traction, shared by hundreds within hours. Comments flooded in, many offering support, prayers, and shared concerns. But as the day wore on with no updates, the collective worry turned into a palpable sense of dread. On the evening of December 1st, 2022, a chilling discovery would bring the search for Jasmine to an abrupt and devastating halt. Around 6 p.m., a passerby walking their dog along Suck Creek Road, a winding path on the outskirts of Chattanooga, noticed something unusual. Near the brush by the side of the road sat an abandoned suitcase. At first, they thought it might have been dumped there like any other piece of trash, but as they approached, they noticed the suitcase was zipped shut and oddly heavy. Curiosity turned to horror when they unzipped it. Inside, they found human remains. The passerby immediately called 911, their voice trembling as they described the gruesome scene. Within minutes, police arrived and secured the area. Forensic teams carefully examined the suitcase, finding evidence that suggested a violent and tragic end. News of the discovery spread rapidly, and though the police withheld confirmation until DNA results were processed, Jasmine's family began bracing for the worst. The The following day, forensic analysis confirmed what everyone had feared. The remains belonged to 22-year-old Jasmine Pace. Forensic analysis revealed she had been brutally stabbed over 60 times. The confirmation shattered her family. As detectives began piecing together the timeline of Jasmine's disappearance, attention quickly turned to Jason Chen, the last person known to have been with her. The discovery of Jasmine's body was only the beginning of unraveling a chilling and premeditated crime. Police immediately turned their attention to Jason Chen. Inside his apartment, investigators uncovered a chilling crime scene. Bloodstains had seeped through the carpet, and signs of a violent struggle were evident. Detectives also found Jasmine's belongings in the apartment, including her purse and phone, further linking Jason to the crime. Sticky notes were discovered detailing Jasmine's personal life and the timeline of their relationship, evidence of Jason's obsessive tracking of her every move. In early December, Jason Chen was arrested and charged with the murder of Jasmine Pace. His demeanor during the arrest was eerily calm, refusing to answer questions or show any signs of remorse. Under interrogation, Jason offered a series of shifting stories, claiming the incident was an accident. But the overwhelming evidence against him painted a different picture, a calculated, brutal act fueled by jealousy and control. The murder of Jasmine Pace sent shockwaves through Chattanooga. Vigils were held in her honor, with hundreds attending to show their support for her grieving family. Her mother, in a tearful statement, said, "She had so much life ahead of her. No one should ever have to go through this." In January 2025, Jason Chen was convicted and sentenced for the murder of 22-year-old Jasmine Pace. The case, which had captivated the community since November 2022, concluded with a jury finding Chen guilty of first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. The prosecution presented compelling evidence, including surveillance footage and digital records that traced Chen's movements and communications leading up to and following Jasmine's death. This digital evidence played a pivotal role in securing the conviction. During the sentencing phase, Jasmine's family delivered poignant statements, expressing their profound loss and the impact of her death on their lives. The jury sentenced Chen to life in prison without the possibility of parole, ensuring he will spend the remainder of his life incarcerated. The tragic murder of Jasmine Pace is a stark reminder of how quickly trust can turn into betrayal and love into violence. Her story urges us to remain vigilant and to speak up against the signs of abuse, ensuring that no one else suffers the same fate.